We're back with a big guest, Samuel here. Samuel is an owner of a Premium Spice Rum alcoholic beverage and probably much more. So Samuel, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Thank you. First and foremost, man, thank you for having me on the podcast, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for taking time on a busy Saturday after making orders to bless us with your presence.
Yeah, man, it gets that, man. Like, you try to structure your day the best you can, but there's always something. Your day the best you can, but there's always something. Something always happens.
So let's kind of deep dive into to what you do, the Premium Spice Rum alcoholic beverage. Why spiced rum? How'd you come up with the idea?
So the first part of the question first. So why spice rum? For me, I consider myself, a rum enthusiast / rum connoisseur. So I've drank a lot of spice rum. I mean, a lot of rum in general. Okay. During this journey and a little bit before this journey. But what I realized is trying to, get people into the rum category and make rum the front of the spirits category in the UK. You have to start with something that people are familiar with. So people are familiar with, like a very, very well-known white rum, which is Rare Nephew. And then people are familiar with other rums, but most of the other rums they're familiar with are spice rums, i.e. Captain Morgan and sometimes Bacardi. And the people I say is the people that are not, rum connoisseurs, the people that go out, they go to a bar, a really nice bar, they fancy rum, they fancy something a bit sweet, it goes well with your cocktails. They usually start with a spice rum. So I thought, you know what, if I want to educate people that are not really into rum and to, I want to move, kind of like the pendulum to, the rum direction, because currently it's with gin, you have to start with a spirit that's going to be easy on the palate. And for me, I feel like spice rum is easy on the palate. It's something that you can, if you want to, drink straight, but usually it goes well with, your favorite fruit juices or your favorite cocktails. So for me, I thought, okay, spice rum would be the first product to kind of intro people into this category and, give them different mixes and stuff like that. And then after that, we may go for the more aged stuff or, either like the white rum and compete with some more well-known brands.
Right now, we have a finished product which people can get on lasrumclub.com.
Yep.
The question I would ask is, from the idea of the beverage to the finished product we have right now, what's that process like? So typically, let's say I wanted to set up a T-shirt company. I come up with a design. I find the material composition. I can find somebody to print the logo onto like a cotton T-shirt. Now, coming up with an alcoholic beverage, I'm sure the process is a little more nuanced to that. So from the idea to actually maybe sampling the beverage, how long did that take?
So to sampling, it's weird because, it's not linear because, especially if what I aim to do is, I want to get more entrepreneurs into the spirits industry. So, kind of act as a coach and kind of guide them through it. So for my journey wasn't linear. So I'd say that I'd done a lot of things, wrong. Whereas I could now, coach people as a service to kind of tell you what to do right. But in short, for me, I'd say the first thing you have to do is read up on the types of licenses you need. Because one thing about the alcohol industry is that it's heavily regulated by HMRC. HMRC are there to make sure that they're getting their duty and there's no VAT, there's no duty fraud, because that's a massive thing. Do you know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you have all your licenses, in place. I'd say read up on that first. And then, once you read up on your licenses and whatnot, then you can, start looking at what spirit you want to get into. So let's say gin. right now there's so many craft gin distilleries around in London, so it's probably the easiest spirit to get into. Um, for me, you have to know about the quality of gin, and you have to know about what flavors you're looking at and what your consumers may want from you. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like you should just guess on flavors. You have to practice. So what you'll do is you get samples from a particular gin distillery, and then you just go around, sample, give people different variations of your gin. And then once you've got enough yeses, because there's going to be no's there, and there's going to be sometimes that you're confident, you get a no, and you start thinking, oh shit, like is this the right thing? Is this nice or whatever? I got one of those yesterday, but for me, I've been on the journey so like long enough to know that it doesn't really waver me for too long. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where once you've tested it, keep testing. Then I would say it's time for you to go into production. But you have to. There's a lot of things in terms of financials you have to take into consideration. So you just have to make sure that you're financially sound. And then for me, I'd say you go hire someone like me to come and coach you, because you will make a lot of mistakes and spend a lot of money, basically.
Okay. So what mistakes have you made that, if you were to do this all over again, you'd make sure you didn't make twice?
So for me, like a lot of times I put all of my eggs in one basket. So where someone said, oh, they was going to do this for me, or someone was like, okay, we can help you do this. And then the next day they were like, oh, no, we can't. Because you have to understand, when you're working business to business, just because your business is reliant on another business doesn't mean that that other business owes you anything. So they can just turn around and say, okay, this isn't viable for us, or we're unable to help you, sorry, And then another thing is, one thing I definitely want to do is create a service contract. So a service contract is something where somebody comes and does a service for you, i.e. a photographer, a videographer, graphic designer, whatever, and you both can arrange the terms. My friend Nasala, we spoke about it briefly, but if I, if I had experienced what I've had experienced at the start, I would have got that, and it would have saved me a lot of money and saved me a lot of time and a lot of stress. So I would say definitely get a service contract in place, pay a lawyer, where there's some type of penalization if you don't get your footage, if your footage is taking too long, if you don't get your pictures are taking too long. Do you know what I mean? Because some people need to be held accountable, and not many people. And the thing is, like, I don't see a lot of creators just get away with murder because they're just creatives. It's what they do, and because you need them for that time, they just get a lot away with murder. So for me, I'd say definitely protect yourself and get something like that in place. Because for me, I found that I was really, really serious about my craft and about what I was doing. But when I was working with other people, and still to this day, when I work with other people, they're not serious. So, that's just something I will 100% get in place.
Another question is, right now, it's not just yourself, you're not just a one-man team. There's a team of people around you. How did you manage to collect that team?
So what it is, my co-founders are just friends that, one, they have capital, and two, we've always did certain businesses together. So I understand certain personality traits that they have. And, like as a founding team for where we're at, we're definitely something that we needed. Do you know what I mean? As we go on, we're going to hire more people that are strong in our weaknesses, because there's a lot of weaknesses in myself. Do you know what I mean? I see a lot of weaknesses in myself. There's a lot of stuff that I need to improve on. So I will definitely be hiring more people. Like I feel like when you're picking a team, you should definitely pick a team where you're all strong in different areas. And I feel like I've done that. But as you expand and you grow, yeah, man, you need more. You need more. You need people that believe in your vision. And that's what I'll definitely be looking for this year, hopefully.
So let's take a step back. I have an idea. I want to go full steam ahead. I don't necessarily, I know it's not an idea that I can execute on immediately right now on my own. I have my boys or my girls or a group of friends. What's that vetting process that you've gone through to realize, or what are the key characteristics that you think, great, I need these in my friends to them to prove to me that they're serious before we go around and actually embark on this journey together? Maybe the top 5.
Okay, so top 5 I'd say is just tenacity, because and being persistent. So one, I'd say just being persistent, because again, there's got to be a lot of no's, and things are always going to happen. But like for me, like in this business world, no isn't always a no. You have to keep going. You have to keep knocking on those doors, and one day one of these doors are going to open. So if you've got people around you that are persistent, and days where people have their days where they're low, but your other team members are high energy and persistent, that's 100% going to serve you well. For me, so my strong point is, one of my weak points is, I'd say writing. So in terms of, I honestly, I probably would need to get checked up. I may even be dyslexic. I don't even know what's wrong with me. Yeah, but when it comes to when it comes to typing emails and stuff like that, that is definitely not my strong point. My girlfriend does all of the emails on behalf of us.
Nice personal secretary. I like it.
Yeah, literally, and she was obviously instrumental in this journey as well. But she does all of the emails and stuff like that. Just the way you have to word things, because to get certain things out of certain people, or to take people, or for people to take you seriously, the way how you have to word things, you have to word it a certain way. Like you have to come from that type of professional background, which I've never been in. Do you know what I mean? So I've never been in that world. I've never had to write these emails and stuff like that. So so that was just something that I had to add. And luckily I have someone there that does that. So in regards to your team, somebody that can reel off these emails and word things well. And even the captions, some of the captions I don't think of myself on Instagram. You need somebody that's creative in that sense. For me, what would that also, I think I've added probably 3 now. Let me say 4. It's going to sound really surface, but capital.
That's important. Let's not lie. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest, man. You got to have people around you that's got to have capital.
Or access to capital.
Access to capital, at least. Do you know what I mean? Because not everything goes to plan. Sometimes you're gonna go over your budget. So does the business stop if you go over your budget? No, you got to keep going. Do you know what I mean? You have to keep going. See if it's obviously if it's viable. Have to keep going, and you may have to pay a little bit extra. That's going to come out your founder's pockets. So you just have to make sure that everybody's there and everybody is on the same wave financially, or access. Do you know what I mean, to the same wave financially. So capital, I'd say, is 100% important. And number 5, I'd say, is what would be the best way to say this? So I'd say, so for me, again, as I've stated before, I'm very serious about what I'm doing. So I like things done on time. Funny enough, I don't know, on the podcast, can I say where you work? Or did they know
man, feel free.
No, okay, so CC Legal.
There's no secrets here, man.
No, just double checking. See me, I get very agitated really quickly. So I messaged C Legals and no one was responding to me. And I kind of threw my toes at the pram. I was just like, I just need somebody to help me right now, something like that.
I got a message internally. They were like, oh, you've aired this guy. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure somebody's dealing with him. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh
no,
shit.
like I just feel like somebody wasn't dealing with me. And the thing is, like, I may be doing something on that day that's annoying me, and I've just taken it out. That's why I say, in terms of writing emails,
Sure.
like I'm not the best. Like, if I'm left to my own devices and I'm pissed off, I'm just gonna, like, the tone of my message might not be the best. And sometimes that may come through even in real life. So having co-founders that can say, listen, think about the bigger picture. He may be taking a piss now, or this, that, or whatever. But just chill, just chill. So, having somebody that can see the bigger picture is important, because sometimes I can't, and that's a flaw of mine. That sometimes I just get annoyed. Somebody's taking 2 weeks to give us our footage. I'm just so angry. I can't think of many other things or whatever. Even though I'm getting along with what I'm doing, I'm still annoyed at the back of my head. So I'm trying to say, it's just something that will still be in the back of my head, even though I get on with what I'm doing. You have to have some people around you just say, listen, forget it. Like, keep moving. Let's move whatever. And, let's pivot. Let's think of another idea. Like, and for me, once I kind of get over whatever I'm going through, I realize, okay, yeah, man, it's true. Like, it's like nothing is ever permanent. So, like, even if you're annoyed or whatever, it's not going to last. Like, even, as I said, sea legals, I was annoyed. But what I did is, because I was so happy with the service and stuff like that, and speaking to you and whatever, I put out a tweet that sure it got like at least like 1,000 favorites and 1,000 retweets. And even the CEO of Sea Legal saw the tweet and favorited the tweet. I thought, okay, Let me do a bit of promo. Let me do a bit of promo for Sea Legals, because I was really happy with the service. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, just having people that can think, for you, or give you another view during like tough times is important, man.
So like one thing that you mentioned like 3 or 4 times is like there's character flaws or weaknesses or room for improvement in you, which is, great to acknowledge. That just highlights your level of self-awareness. Now, has this always been something you've naturally had, or is it something you've had to go on a journey to actually understand?
Oh no, I'm super self-aware. So like I know the things that I'm doing wrong. I know this is wrong, this is right. So like I will never, like, for example, if I'm having a disagreement, so if me and my co-founders have had a disagreement, like I'm very quick to know that if I was wrong or right. So I'm trying to say, like, we might have, like, within a minute I'd know, shit, this is me, like I'm just chatting shit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just something that I just naturally have to know when I'm in the wrong. Because like I have like a massive like moral like compass. Like my conscience is crazy. Like I do a lot of charitable work, and like I always empathize. That's the word. I empathize with people. You know what I mean? So I'm able to always see it from that person's point of view. So when I can see it from that person's point of view, yeah, I'm just able to maybe get help in this situation, or just make sure that that I'm fair.
That sounds great.
Thing.
So I'm on a journey too, where there's a lot of I have a lot of flaws,
Yeah.
a lot of imperfections, and I'm just trying to work this out on. So I'm on your Instagram right now, being a little bit nosy, and you used to box.
Oh yeah. No, so I box a bit. It's just one of those things where, because of the time now, I don't really train anymore, but I train a bit.
And one thing that I've experienced is I come from a kickboxing background, also taekwondo, is that these martial arts really teach you discipline. And I feel as if without those being like really important pillars in my life when I was younger, I'd probably be doing some wild shit. Do you agree?
Oh, 100%, man. Like, you have to understand, I've had I was going to say professional. No, I've had a couple amateur fights, and I've sparred loads of rounds in a boxing gym. The times in the fights or in the sparring where I was angry is when I got beat up. The times when I was calm is when I done is when I done the beating up. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it teaches you, it's 100% teaches you to lock down. It teaches you to think. Boxing is a thinking man's game. It's cool being able to fight. You can come off the street and you can be able to fight. You can beat everybody up in the street or whatever. When you get into a boxing ring, it's a totally different game. It's a totally different game. So you have to be, again, self-aware. When you get punched in the face, you have to know, listen, relax. You're gonna get you're gonna get your own back soon. You might get it the next round, you might get it, the next minute. But if you act rash, you're going to get yourself hurt. And that's something that I 100% have taken into business. Like, I know if you act rash, you're the only one that's going to get hurt. So just think, whatever, like, let's be true. Sometimes in business, a business or somebody may have done something for you, done something to you. You may note it down. You might say, okay, cool, no worries. When I get my own, when I get my own time, or when I need to be petty, you may just be petty. And I look at that as like boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I get my own time, I'm gonna give you a 1-2 back. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do it straight away, and it's not gonna be out of anger. It's gonna be, in my own time. So yeah, that's how I kind of apply boxing to life, because yeah, man, it definitely works.
One of the things that I learned was not to underestimate your opponent. And I remember like my first session transitioning from Taekwondo to Muay Thai, I went up against this girl, and listen, I didn't even deep it, but like, I should have known that she wasn't no average girl, because she had the tattoos, she had the outfit, everything was like the same brand. So turns out she was professional fighter. Now I didn't know. So in my mind, I'm just, my egos, I'm like, oh, it's a woman alive. I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna chill. Man, the way I got smoked, the way she bust my lip, bust my nose. I was wearing a white shirt. That shirt was covered in red, man. I looked like it was crazy. And from that moment, I was like, all right. From that moment, then I realized, just again, the business too. Never underestimate your competition. There's always things that you may not be privy to, and there's those unknowns that once you understand what they are, they provide clarity. But prior to that, it's never underestimate anybody.
Yeah, bro, that's probably one of the biggest rules in business. Rule number 1: test everything. Do you know what I mean? Never assume. Like assumptions in business are a myth. You have to be pretty sure. You have to test and test. Because again, like same with like a premium spice rum. So the product that we have now will never be the finished product, because there's things like gift boxes that we can add. There's other stuff we can add, to the design, whatever. But now we pretty much in the testing stage, we know that people want this, they like it. So all we have to do now is just keep improving the product. We never assume, what I'm saying? We'll never, ever, ever assume. We'll never assume that people mess with us. I went to so many parties and got so much feedback before I even launched this brand. I wanted to see if people, wanted a spice rum. Were people tired of the normal spice rums on the bar? Like, was it time, for representation in the rum industry? How would people receive me? And, when I tested these things and I went out and I spoke to the people, I got a good response. So like, a lot of people see me on social media heavy, like, I'm on Twitter heavy. So my personal profile on Twitter, I'm on there heavy, and I'm always like, communicating and speaking to everybody and whatnot. They feel like I done a lot of these things through Twitter, but without me going out there and speaking to the people, this thing wouldn't have launched. I went to the people first, then I went online and I built a community online, and now we've got a community online of people that mess with us. So yeah, man, it's just, never assume, man. Never underestimate anything, as you just said.
So that online community is quite important. So a lot of brands, their real value is purely the community they have, and obviously there's the product and service they offer, but the essence is their community and the value creation that they provide to their community, and that scales. What were your tips, your secrets, or how did you go about cultivating that online community, or just community in general?
So for me, it's one of those things is being intentional. So like for me, I was intentional with my own. So a lot of people use Instagram. For me, Instagram isn't my my forte. It's something that I want to improve. But I use Twitter a lot. The reason why I use Twitter a lot is because news travels faster on Twitter. All you have to do is retweet or favorite, and somebody else sees it that's not even following you. So for me, like I'm just everything I do is just a series of ads. Like it's literally just a series of ads. Like it's just literally a series of ads, and it's a series of ads showcasing my personality. So there might be a topic. Everybody talk about Love Island. You'll get involved in a Love Island topic. You're just talking, you're bantering, whatever. It's just a series of ads, me showcasing my personality and me, actually building a bond with people that follow me. Because it's not, back in the days, people used to do the whole mystique thing. It's me and then it's them. But with Twitter and as like life has kind of like grown and social media has grown, I feel like the connection has become closer. So there's no point kind of fighting that. I look at the people that follow me on Twitter, like and that support me and support the business. They're like extended friends. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like a lot of them I've even met, whether I met at a party or just when they even comment on things and stuff like that. These people are just extended friends. Like we don't have to be close friends. We could be associates, but those are people that I definitely respect, and they've definitely helped me on this journey. So for me, it's just being intentional with whatever you do, whatever you talk about. You just have to be intentional, and it has to service whatever community you're in. Like, if I'm in a certain community and they all speak about this thing, like I won't be speaking about tap dancing. Nobody's interested in tap dancing here. You know what I mean? So you just have to, know what you're talking about, and understand your community, know what they want to do, know what they want to talk about, and beyond overall, just be true to yourself. Like showcase your real personality, like, and then when people know it's genuine and it's your actual real personality, then people are just gonna mess with you.
So the final question I'd like to know is, what's next? What's the next stage? What's the next lap in this long life, this marathon life?
So the next stage for me is I'm definitely going to be trying to pitch for investment, because I feel like there's so much more we can do. Like I have so many big ideas, and for me, I just feel like those big ideas need a big budget. There's so many things I want to do. There's so many people I want to help, because the essence of me as a person is helping community. The essence of Spice Rum is you get your white rum, you get your ingredients, you blend it, and it works together in unison. And that's how I kind of look at London. I look at the new community, the new middle class, everybody just working together to build a community. And for me, for me to do that and to do it to the level that I have and the vision I have in my head, I need the investment. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be, pitching for investment in the next month or so, literally just sorting out my pitch deck and whatever. And then from there, man, it's got to be all the way up. And hopefully you'll see me in all your favorite, bars and restaurants.
My favorite music videos. There we go.
Yeah, man. Why not?
So the process of fundraising is a difficult one. It's like anything in life, right? Once you've done it once, you could do it twice. But again, it's going from 0 to 1 where people get the most difficulty. And typically it's people from our community lack access to capital primarily, and individuals with capital. So it's just about leveraging your network to find those connections. But luckily, there's some amazing people in this ecosystem. People like Andy Davis, or formerly Andy Ayim, or members of Jane VC, Viridian Ventures, Backstage Capital, Impact X, Cornerstone, all looking to support founders from underrepresented backgrounds. So what we should probably do is I can introduce you to those people, probably off air, and especially Andy Davis. Andy Davis has he has coin to share.
Yeah.
he's one of the investors in Trim It.
Yeah, I think I know that there's two Andys. There's Andy Davis and there's another Andy, right? So
Andy Ayim, yeah.
yes, okay. So I think I've emailed both of them. So one of them I spoke to, and he said that. Well, I think it's Andy Davis I spoke to. He said that he would, yeah, he's going to get back to me on his day off or something like that. So yeah, man, I think I'm in contact with them. But the others, I'm 100% on, getting that intro, because I would be the first person that's doing what I'm doing in my community, and they would be the first person to invest in someone like me. So for me, I think it makes sense, man. Like it 100% makes sense, because what I'm doing makes sense. And then, above everything, it's got to make money, and that's what they're in it to do. If it don't make money, they're not investing. But this is going to make money, so yeah, man.
Sure, and I think investors are looking for like a few things: the total addressable market size, which is an alcoholic beverage. Like we clearly have that. The USP, spiced rum, primarily starting in the urban community, looking to like scale out. That's a nice competitive edge. The cool team, you guys seem to be on point, so that's another tick. And really, it's just traction already, and you guys are selling out products. You go on the social medias, you're always being tagged in these different posts. Everyone is quite excited to get their products. And the cool thing is, it looks like everybody's paying, because you're not giving away people who have 10,000 followers on Instagram. You're not giving them free shares away to I'm doing quote marks influencer marketing, which doesn't really work for the most part.
Bro, it doesn't work, man. You know what? We've tried it. Like
I've tried as well, man. I spent my coin, just lose it.
Yeah, bro, we've tried it. It does not work. Especially, do you know what? Influencer marketing does work. It may work, but it doesn't work on Instagram stories. So if a person posts your shit on Instagram stories, your conversion is going to be shit. It's going to be shit. It doesn't work. Like I'm not on that. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to do something with an influencer, like properly, when we do get the budget or whatever, it's going to be proper content that's on the feed that actually showcases something, not just bang it on the story and whatever. Obviously, there's some influencers that happen to be cool with people that I know, so I'm happy to do all of that. But I'm saying the ones that I don't know and whatnot, we're going to actually have to create something, because I'm a creative person in general. Like I want to create. I've got a vision. So just to be simple, like even when I get the messages about sponsorship, it's just it's so surface. It's so simple. Like for me to create an alcohol brand and start from zero and get to this stage, I'm not saying that we're at the biggest stage or whatever. It means that I want to be creative. Like, so you have to be creative. Let's let's be creative together. Let's create something together. I'm happy. You can put up your money. I can put up my money. Let's create something together. Like, let's create a bar. Let's create a menu. All of these things are things that we can do. Not just sponsor this event and you're getting free alcohol at me, but you couldn't get free alcohol at Hennessy or Ciroc or Rare Nephew. So why are you trying to get out of me when I've just started? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it would make sense if you got it out of someone else. You got it out of someone else with the budget, but you can't even get it out of them, and you expect a small brand to come and sponsor your event. Some of the events I really want to sponsor and I love and whatever, but I just think people don't understand the industry and they think it's free. It's not like I just make like a punch in my house or a rum punch or whatever. Like, it's not that.
Just in the crib mixing it up.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's easier to do it when it's like that, but no, it's a long process, man. And man, I just feel like eventually, hopefully this year, when things pick up and I get the money that I really want to get, people will understand.
Stop asking for free shit, guys.
Yeah, that's man. How
more of the story, man.
The alcohol industry. Yeah, man. How hard the alcohol industry actually is, man. But man, this is the year anyway. We only launched November the 8th. So, you know what I mean?
Wow,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Short time as well.
very short time, November the 8th, and half of the things that we wanted to do, we haven't done through some dumbness or somebody fucking up or whatever, but we're still growing. And yeah, man, this year is the year that we do something massive, and we're gonna definitely take the alcohol and especially the rum scene by storm.
One thing, because I used to work in influencer marketing, so it'd be like, I'd be lying if I said it didn't work. Like for it to work, a few things need to happen. So the campaign needs to coexist with other campaigns. It can't just be influencer marketing at the end of the funnel for conversion. It needs to be both top funnel, middle funnel. So brand awareness, gaining interest, and the conversion. And you mentioned it before. I don't think these one-off collaborations with influencers, they don't work because the audience is smart. They see through it. They've seen a gang of ads on social media already. Like, your audience isn't fools. For it to really work, I think it's important that you have those really just authentic, and I hate that word because it's one of these bait words everyone uses, but you need to have an honest relationship with like your influencers, whereby which maybe they're brand ambassadors because your values align and there's clear alignment where I can put like my product or my service and you can look at their social media, look at who they are as a person, and that alignment just makes sense, and their audience will fuck with it. And if we have the influencers at all three stages, then it should hopefully work.
It's like, for example, like this is why I say I use Twitter. So a lot of the traction I got on Twitter. So one person who's not an influencer but has been like a brand ambassador for us, I don't know if he probably won't mind me saying because he's posted up our stuff before, is Stormzy. Do you know what I mean? He's posted up the drink before. I've given him the drink. I've given him the drink. He's done videos with the drink and stuff like that and whatever. Like, if I post that on Twitter, the conversion rate and the people that see it on Twitter is way more than Instagram. So if I'm seeing that, do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. It's like I'm smart enough now to understand like the metrics. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can post something with Stormzy on Instagram and it, like, people may repost it because of me or whatever, but they're not just going to buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would be like if me and Stormzy now done like a collaboration and it was like a crazy collab and Stormzy had his own packaging and whatever, people will buy into that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's not about the name. It's not about, how many followers or whatever. It's like, can we create? Can we collab? Like, like, it's not like you have millions of followers like Stormzy. Like, Stormzy's got 3 million followers. So when you post, it's going to be different. You that's got 10,000 followers, I can't just be giving you. I can't just be giving it to you. I can't just we're not desperate for followers. We're desperate for. We're not even desperate for anything. We just want sales. We don't care about the following. I have on Instagram. We have I think around 1,500 followers. Yeah, we've sold, roughly about 500 or so bottles. Like, so the conversion is crazy, but I'd rather have that than have 10,000 followers and only 500 people bought.
Makes sense.
I'd rather have 1,500 people following me, and I know a third of them bought the brand, rather than 10,000 and only a tenth of them bought the brand. Makes no sense. 1/10 makes no sense to me, man.
Well, listen, the podcast is supposed to be 20 minutes, but like at 38, I couldn't stop you. This conversation was too good. We're going to split this up into 2 episodes.
Thank you.
Before we leave, let's just share some insight. So in your opinion, I know the marathon is still going or not quite where we want to end up, but 2 questions I'd like to leave you with and hopefully share an answer. First being, what are the secrets behind you getting to where you currently are right now? And the next one is, what do you wish you had known when you started out?
The secret, I'm going to tell you, like, the biggest secret for me is I know how to go through pain. Like, I know how to struggle. I know how to go through pain, and I know how to hustle. Simple as that. Like, I grew up in Newham. I grew up in Stratford. So you know what that's like. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's ingrained in me. I went to primary school in Hackney. It's ingrained in me. Like, it's somebody I was born this way. Do you know what I mean? The nicer parts of me, or the more the giving, the conscious parts of me, I learned from my parents. Do you know what I mean? Everything else I learned from my environment. So in terms of hustling and being the person I am, being resilient, being persistent, waking up early, doing the things that need to be done, that's just an environment thing. And it's me just using my environment and translating the skills. So whereas I might have been doing these things and doing it there and doing it the wrong way or whatever, I'm now doing it the right way in something I'm passionate about. And that's a key thing, being passionate. Do you know what I mean? And sorry, what was your second question?
The last question is, what do you wish you had known when you started out on this journey?
Wish I'd known. I'm going to go back to it. I'm just going to say a lot of creators are not serious. That was probably because you want to work with people that look like you want to give opportunities, whatever.
Sure.
But a lot of people that have looked like me have just fucked me over. It hasn't stopped me, or it would never deter me from working with people that look like me, but that doesn't guarantee you good work. It doesn't guarantee you quick work. It doesn't guarantee you even get your work just because you look like somebody. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, not assuming just because my man looks like me, he's going to give me my work on time, or he's even going to give it to me at all. Do you know what I mean? Because some people have some people have a lack of respect, and they don't really care about what you're doing. They just care about the short term and just care about themselves. Do you know what I mean? So,
that being said,
that's probably one.
Shout out to Femstar on Instagram, aka Femi. I hope you're not talking about him. I hope he's one of these serious creatives.
Oh no! Femstar is cool, man. Femstar is cool, man. I've used him recently. Yeah. I've used Femstar recently. Now it's more like some videographers I've used and whatnot. But Femstar, he's cool, man.
And last thing, the socials. Where can the listeners get you at?
For me, I'll just say, just follow the business Instagram, which is lasolas.uk, and follow the business Twitter, which is lasolas, so LASOLAS UK. My personal, if you're not really into the Twitter comedian stuff or football, whatever, there's no point following me. You're just probably going to be annoyed. But yeah, just follow the business. And yeah, man, like, follow our journey. Again, as I said, we've just started, and everybody that follows us from now is a Rum Club member. That's what we call it, the Rum Club. You're a club member. You're inducted into the Rum Club, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, just follow us.
What I need to do is cop that hoodie that you're wearing. I need one of them Salas hoodies, and I need to buy myself a bottle, and I'm lit.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
No, the hoodie looks kind of banging. I won't lie to you, man. If it was shit, I'll tell you it was shit. But this hoodie's kind of nice. The colors.
Thank you.
It's perfect for this winter season, man.
Definitely, man.
But anyway, man, I appreciate you jumping on the podcast. Listeners, get Sam on the socials, buy yourself some alcohol. Listen, we have to support our own businesses. For me personally, I'm going to put the Hennessy down, put the Cavassier down, put all these brands created by founders that don't look like me down, and I'm going to try some spice rum. I might become a spice rum connoisseur as well, man.
Thank you, man. Hopefully.
We'll see. Anyway, appreciate you jumping on the podcast, man.
No worries, bro.